Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are. Today I'm just going to talk about uh, painting stones. Now, I kind of took this up shortly before lockdown, actually. There's a wishing tree, and we help out and leave ribbons and things, and I thought it would be nice to do little painted stones with the children. I don't know if you've come across them yourselves, but you'll find them often. They're painted with all sorts of mediums. Sometimes they're very temporary, like with chalk or watercolors. Others more permanent. Some have been, just sometimes just pen marks and things. And sometimes it's like flags or with a witty message or emojis. And actually, I've come across one or two which are actually kind of guerrilla marketing, where a local business or a company have kind of put ideas and advertising events. I feel stone painting is a really accessible and entry level creative project because you don't need expensive stuff. Stones are everywhere, and they're quite easy to do, and they're just painted stones. So there's no judgment there, and you don't get that early kind of disappointment in your level of skills. Now, what I've done here, what I normally do is I usually put in a base coat, and then I paint either with acrylic or Sharpies, permanent marker, and then I varnish it. These ones, which I'm working on, I'm just experimenting with an outdoor lacquer. I'm not quite sure how well that'll weather, but that's the thing. That's the beauty of painting stones is you do it, you try it out, you leave it out, whatever. You can put it by your garden, on your mantelpiece. You can leave it out for people to find. That's how actually I first noticed one. We were walking in a country park, and there was a stone, and it just sort of said, keep trucking or something. It was the old 70s kind of thing. And I picked it up and we turned it over, and there was like, hello. Either I think the message was take home or leave for others to find. And I thought, wow, that's such a really nice thing to do. So I kind of got into that, and I've been leaving some of them around. One of the things I have heard is some people kind of criticize it. One is and I think it's a valid criticism, is why paint rocks? I mean, rocks are interesting in themselves, and I get, I'm not a geologist, but I also like picking up rocks and whatnot. But if it's a generic rock, you're not you're not defacing Mother Nature. The second criticism is the ecological side, saying, well, you're taking chemicals, paints, and you're taking it out into the environment, and then the paint can wash off and enter into the local ecology. I think that's quite trivial. I don't think don't leave these things in sensitive areas or bird sanctuaries or whatnot. I mean, public places, no one walks. Once again, in your garden, it doesn't pose. I don't think these things pose any kind of harm to people. And I think the third one is, of course, young children. So definitely don't make anything which is a choking hazard. Don't so avoid small stones, which which a toddler could pick up. So get something which is also nothing too big or sharp. You just find something which is tactile. And then So I feel that's quite good. And of course, I'll give some examples and see what you think. The Haddington Wishing Tree. Now this wishing tree is located at Nelson Park, which is in Haddington, East Lothian. It was set up by a very lovely lady. I won't give her name, but her initial begins with H. And she set it up, and it's really a lovely magical place. And so what we do is we leave ribbons and things for people to tie to the branches and things. But one of the things which I then started to do is do painted rocks with myself and my children, which you can see here. I think they're quite. It's quite a nice thing, and as I said, it's always nice to find when you're trekking about, and I've had some nice feedback from people regarding it. Well, there you go, and that's my little video on painting rocks. And as I said, I think it's a great wee hobby. It's quite easy to pick up, something to do with the kids, which is what I do, and you can experiment without being costly. So for instance, some of the so varnish I find pretty good, but sometimes it reacts with certain pigments, and you go, oh, okay, so if I'm going to do that, I need to use this instead of that. And it's a great way of sort of starting to build up that technique. It's also a way of sort of, you can just do random stuff, or you can try and put things together, or make it, so it's something which I think is a great way to sort of get into creativity without eating up a lot of your time and demanding a big budget or even a space. Because I started doing this at my home working station. You don't need anything fancy. You just need brush or a pen, and there you go, off you go. So I hope you like this video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.